Hey, what's up? It's been a minute. I'm gonna do a whole catch up and where I've been in my next video, but today I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in because I'm sitting outside my gym and I would love to get a good lift in. But yeah, so today's video is I bought a house and how much I spent. I used my VA home loan and I'm also in North Carolina, so those are factors. I'm making this video because when I was wanting to buy a house, I couldn't find anything with transparency about numbers or get a general idea or any remote idea on how much someone spent. So, this video is me being extremely transparent and trying to answer the questions that I had. So, I started looking for a home in November of 2024, and I knew that I needed to have my home by March. It takes 30 days to close at least. It took me a little bit longer because it snowed in North Carolina where I was at and nobody knew how to operate, so everything was closed and it was quite annoying if you ask me. But yeah, um ideally, or my ideal home that I had pictured in my head was a brick home, and that's not what I ended up with. My house has cedar siding and that is important for later on. Um I found my home on Zillow and toured it. Absolutely loved it. I still love this home. I look forward to coming home every single day. It is my favorite place to be. My home is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, um, a little under 1,600 square feet, built in the 80s, and sits on a little less than 3/4 of an acre. It was listed at 230, and I offered 230. You do not have to do that. If I would have done it again, I would have offered 225 at the most. But I didn't, and that's okay. So, cool. Offered that. I paid 1,500 for due diligence, which I guess is something that's really only common in North Carolina. I guess not all states do this, but it's really just to show that I'm serious about buying this home and I am eager to buy. I mean business. That type of shit. But yeah. So I put that down and that did go to closing as well. It went towards closing costs. And then I got accepted. Cool. I paid $800 for an appraisal. That also goes towards closing costs. My home was appraised at $227,500, which is obviously less than I offered. With the VA home loan, I did have an option of whether I could just pay that difference or I can renegotiate and I can offer what the house is actually appraised at. And that's exactly what I did. And it got accepted for that. Cool. We're doing inspections. I paid 350 towards home inspection. I paid 150 towards pest inspections. And then everything was cool. Perfect. Obviously, I bought my house and very happy with it. Um on the day of closing, um I went to a local lawyer's office and he kind of sits through and you get all your stuff notarized and everything signed for. I paid $4,483.86 on the day of closing. A lot of people ask me, do you have to pay for closing? Because there's people that don't. And that is something that can be negotiated. Like one of the houses I had looked at beforehand, the seller was eager to sell. That house had been on the market for over a year and they wanted to pay closing costs and they wanted to offer $10,000 towards whatever you wanted to do with it. It was 45 minutes away from where I worked, and up and down the street was a bunch of registered sex offenders. So I was like, that's not really the area that I wanted to live in, so I declined. But there are houses that people will basically almost pay for you to live in. So those are things to look for. But my house was on the market, I think, for maybe 2 months. So in total, including closing costs and everything, I paid $7,283.86. I paid all of that on my own within 30 days. You don't always have to pay for all of that. Another home that I had looked at, the inspections were already done on it and the home was already appraised. So they were fine with just using that. So that would have been like a little money off. And the house was a little bit cheaper. So, it does depend on the home. And like, obviously, your experience can be completely different than mine. But that is just like something to think about, is that you may actually have to spend money, because I was told the whole time I was buying this house that I wouldn't have to spend very much. And my realtor also told me that, and I love her, she was wonderful, but she told me that I would probably spend no more than $4,000 the entire time that I was like closing. And with closing costs, said I'd probably spend no more than $4,000. Obviously, that was not right. My monthly payment on my home is 17,000, not 17,000, $1,706.37, and that includes like my principal and interest and my escrow. But recently there is something who is they? Honestly, I don't know. There's this thing called an IRRRL. There could be another R in there. Honestly, I should have looked it up beforehand. I am so sorry. I'm not qualified. But basically, if the interest percent is like significantly lower, they'll offer to like refinance your loan, and it just like lowers your payment. So now I'll be paying $1,600. So a little bit of a difference. But yeah, I went ahead and took that offer up. But yeah, so that's what I will be paying now, and that's 6 months. I think it's like about 6 months after you buy your home. So yeah, you can look forward to getting so many pieces of mail talking about this damn loan. Like, so many. And when I mean so many, I mean like, you would think that I was like wanted. It's ridiculous. But, anyways, yeah. And then other things to think about is like, okay, turning on my water, had no idea how much that was going to cost. $175. Monthly, I pay about 21. Not too bad. Electricity, that cost $8 to turn on. I pay anywhere between 170 a month to about 90. I have no idea how it fluctuates like that. I don't know. Um I also got a security system because I'm just a girl. So I paid $129, and when I was paying that, they told me, "Okay, yeah, you're getting free equipment, yada yada yada, don't have to worry about that." That was a lie. That was a lie, because I had to pay $400 for like so much equipment. And I pay $68 a month. But do I feel safe? Very. I feel very safe, and it's kind of worth it. Spectrum, even though I had like the modem and the Wi-Fi little box guy, I moved it to my home, and they still charged me $200 as a service fee. Why does that make sense? I did all the work. They didn't even have anybody come out. Like, I don't get that, but I also pay $50 a month, so it's really not bad either. And then these are things that I didn't think about that I definitely should have thought about. When I was buying this home, I was like, there's all these trees around it. Like, this is in a really inconvenient location. I'll just pay to get it cut down. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, it's like four, maybe $500, max $600 a tree. Wrong. Wrong. At least $1,100 a tree. What are, and I'm not even kidding. There's one, two, three, four. There's 5 trees I want cut down. And one of those trees, I have religiously been quoted at least $2,200, because it's right next to my house. I wish I would have looked into that, and I didn't. So that's on me. Also, my home is like partially fenced, but like very partial, and the fence was it's not sturdy. So I need to get that taken down. Getting that portion taken down, $200. Okay, cool. Getting an entirely new fence put up. The lowest I've been quoted lately is 4,200. The highest I was quoted this summer, $9,000. Where are they getting these numbers? So that's something to think about. And that's not even like my entire property. Like, that is like a small portion of my backyard. Not very big at all. I will be getting a fence this year though. So it's like, it's not even like a want. It's like actually a need because I have two dogs right now. Anyways, I'm a yapper. Let me stop right where I'm at. But that's something to think about. And they said it's like about $2,200 just in materials. So that's what like half the cost is, and then it's like 2,000 for labor, which is I totally understand. And like everybody that I've asked and all of their references that I've looked at are it just looks perfect, and that's exactly what I want. So they're trustworthy, and I love them. Um, and then I'm getting my home stained because I have cedar siding, which I knew going into it, like, um, I'm gonna need to stain this home semi regularly. How regularly? I don't know. I don't know. But my home is getting stained starting next week and then into the following week. And that he said is max $4,000. Because it's the siding and it's also the trim. But in my eyes, it's worth it because it's the longevity of the home overall, and it's just gonna look so nice. And yeah. Other things I didn't think about. I in my last home, we had taken trash to the dump, so we never paid for trash. Here, I pay for trash, and I pay like $300 every quarter. What? Not a fan. And then also lawn care. I was gonna mow my own grass. Girl. That was really naive of me. That's a fucking chore. That, and then I drive away from my house and I'm like, holy crap, I missed an entire section. So I go ahead and outsource, and I pay $60 every 2 weeks to have my lawn done. And then if I want my bushes done, it's $15 a bush. And I got a lot of bushes, okay? But yeah, those are just like little things to think of. Um and don't let the numbers scare you. I think if anything, like if you're watching this like way ahead of time, this is what you should be saving for. You should be saving for a home, especially if you have a VA home loan. Like, I am so glad that I utilized this, and I love owning my own home for so many reasons. Like, one, I can literally move in whoever I want. If my friends need a place to go, they can come here. I just fostered two dogs, and one of my dogs that I fostered destroyed my guest room. Am I worried about my landlord saying something? No, because I am my own landlord. I can fix it and it'll be okay. Um, like, I don't know. It's just something about, and I guess part of it too is like, I only really grew up in apartments, or I grew up in homes that weren't mine. And actually owning something and actually having something that is my home that like I am proud of, it's really a different type of joy. So don't let the numbers scare you. If anything, this is something you should be working towards. And this is completely obtainable. Like, thinking about it like in a bigger picture, 7 grand isn't very much. You could spend that on literally like random Amazon purchases or whatever. Put it towards something that actually matters. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, go ahead, comment down below. Ask them. I will answer. Um anyways, I really hope this video was like at least a little helpful to some of you guys. I can do a home tour too if you want, but yeah. Anyways, have a great day and a great life. Bye.